Hi guys, real quick before you guys get into the video, I just want everybody to know this is a sensitive video, sensitive topics. This is my sister, this is my family, guys. This is my blood. So please be respectful to the commentary that is being provided for you guys. This is all things that are being provided by the heart simply for the reason of helping others get through any type of hardship that they might be going through while coming out being gay. So please be respectful in the comments and enjoy the video. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome to the Unapologetic Squad. If this is your first time visiting the channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can become a part of the notification family. Speaking of family, guys, I want you to welcome for the very first time on my channel, my sissy.
Hey guys.
She's coming on the channel today because we have a very, very, very cool topic to talk about. This is Pride Month, and we thought it would be a very good time, considering the time of month that it is and the celebration that it is, to talk about her, my sister, her experience. For those who don't know, my sister is
Lesbian.
You don't know?
Oh. I'm married to a woman. I'm in a same-sex relationship. I have been for the past 6 years. So just talking about, coming out and just even, it's so different, even culturally and, when it comes to like religion and all that stuff, it's so different, and so vast. So, just hearing different stories and different perspectives can help somebody, maybe be able to feel comfortable coming out around this time, or just feel comfortable being them, so it's definitely a good conversation to have. And
yeah, so I thought that it would be really cool to have her come on the channel and to discuss, what she's gone through as far as her journey in coming out to the family and to friends and being married, and her transition, because my sister was previously a heterosexual relationship. So she was not one who, quote unquote, was born to know.
Yeah.
However, I got a cool story for you guys. I got a cool story for you guys later at the end about that. But so yeah, that's what we're coming on here talking about today. And guys, forgive me for the video seeming like it's jumpy a little bit. We are currently traveling right now. We have about an hour drive. So yeah, the streets are a little bit bumpy, and it's causing the camera on the dashboard to shake and vibrate. So we're not having an earthquake. We're not having an earthquake. So yes, guys, so my sister, she said already that she's in a lesbian marriage. Her wife, I'll let her tell you about her wife.
Yeah, so just a little bit about, should I say a little bit about my story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Growing up, I didn't necessarily know that I was a lesbian. I didn't know, I guess I wasn't really knowledgeable in different types of relationships or anything like that. It wasn't until as I got older, but I did know that I was different. And then to add on top of that, growing up in somewhat a religious household, and then having older parents with older views and older perspectives, and then just society in itself, you know what I mean, and not being as accepting back then. I'm in my 30s, by the way. I know I look super young, but I'm in my 30s. So, before, or for me growing up, it wasn't necessarily as accepted as it is now. It wasn't like a normal thing. transitioning, it was I don't know, it was difficult, but not, because I have a really cool family, but in my mind I made it more difficult than it was, you know what I mean? Like but yeah, so I have a wife, and she is a respiratory therapist. She is masculine presenting. She wouldn't be necessarily considered like a stud or anything like that. We don't necessarily go by the normal labels, that people put on different lesbians. But she is definitely masculine presenting. So that has its own things that come with that as well, you know what I mean? So that's a little bit about me. I don't know what questions you may have.
Let's see what questions I have. What age would you say that that you kind of started feeling like you were more knowing that you were that you said you were different, that you mentioned that you were different? What age would you say that you felt like that?
I would say that it was probably more in high school. I had a lot of friends that were free spirits, you know what I mean? Like they were what you would consider bisexual, you know what I mean? And they were a lot more free with their sexuality. I had in my mind that the first time I had sex or whatever, I was like gonna get pregnant or HIV or something, so it kind of like scared me out of being sexually active.
Okay.
So even though I wasn't sexually active, I was like, oh wow, my friend's with a girl, and that seems normal to me. It wasn't a weird thing to me, you know what I mean? And I was able to look at females and be like, oh, she's beautiful, but not just beautiful as in, like someone you would see like, oh, okay, she's gorgeous. It's more like, wow, like I could see myself with that, you know what I mean? Okay. So I would say more in high school, just because of the openness around me.
Okay. So you mentioned attraction. And I know that a lot of people have a misconception about what it is to be gay. And there are, like you said, so many titles out there as far as like transgender, what's some more? Bisexual,
polyamorous. Like there's literally so... I didn't know that. I'm still learning about all the different, different terms under that umbrella.
Right.
So yeah.
And I think one of the newest ones is what do they call it? Cis.
Yeah. Well, so that's more that goes into more like gender roles.
Okay. See, I'm so
cis,
ignorant to the whole terminology and making sure that I fit the right terms for the right people and where they're at. So that becomes confusing. But I had mentioned that you had mentioned attraction, and I know that a lot of people have a misconception about what it is to be gay because they think that it's tied to a sexual fantasy.
Yeah, definitely.
Could you explain a little bit about that? Like for people who have no knowledge about it, what it's like for you initially. Is it a sexual thing, or is it a sexual attraction that ties you into the same sex, or is it more of a personality thing, or how would you say that?
That's a good question. I think that it's it's very that's a very complex answer or question, because like there's so many different answers to that. I would say for me, it was more, I think that I feel more of a connection with women. It's a comfort thing, and I'm not necessarily sure where that stems from, because I have a good relationship with my mom and stuff like that, and my sisters. However, there's just a comfort there, like the nurturing part of a woman is something that is attractive to me. You know what I mean? So and just like certain traits that women have are more of an attraction versus a male. You know what I mean? Like that aggressiveness, like that doesn't do anything for me. You know what I mean? So
do you, I know that there are some people who have experienced like trauma in their lives and in relationships that kind of push them in that direction. Would you say that that's something that you dealt with, that caused you to have that mindset as such a young kid to think that you didn't want to be sexually active because of, you know, you might catch AIDS or anything like that? Did something like that occur to have you think more towards that reason, so that you are, because you mentioned that you are more comfortable with the softer approach,
right?
Women.
Yeah, no, it definitely didn't stem from any kind of trauma, and I think that is a good thing to put out there, because I think a lot of people think like, oh, you know, like, oh, they changed because something happened. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that could very well be the case, but for me, definitely no trauma or anything like that happened. When the whole idea of me getting pregnant first time I have sex, or getting like some kind of STD, it came from a movie, and I just took that serious. I don't know, you know, like, but there was all types of people around. Like I said, I was surrounded by people who were very sexually active, and I'm seeing what's happening to them. So just because of that, I was just like, oh no, you know, just that, it's just my personality. Like, I got a worrying personality, but no, I literally think that it was just how I was uniquely made. I really feel like I was born this way, but I just didn't know because I wasn't exposed to it. It wasn't until I was exposed to it that I recognized, oh, you know what, I fit better in this category.
Okay, so you had emotions, and internal emotions that you knew, that you could relate to once you got around people that were in the same boat. You know, that brought that out, and you could familiarize yourself with that, because because they were dealing with that. They were in that lifestyle, so you were able to recognize that within yourself. Got it. Wow. Okay. That's good. I hope that this is helping somebody out there. You know what I'm saying? We know that there are people that struggle with their sexuality right now, the times that we're in. You know what I'm saying? We're striving for equality for people, you know what I'm saying, and for people to have a voice. And everyone should feel comfortable in who they are as a person. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter, you know, who you love, or, you know, what you categorize yourself as. You should be comfortable in your skin, and, you know, you should have the freedom to, you know, be open and comfortable with whatever it is that you choose to relate to.
And I would say, I would speak more towards like when we're talking about comfort level. I really feel like if you're feeling nervous about coming out, or about being who you really are, educate the people around you about what is going on in your life. Like, don't be scared to present it in whatever way that you need to present it.
Right.
Because that was my worry. Like, I was just like, oh my God, I'm in church, and, you know, like, I have older parents who don't necessarily agree with that lifestyle. Well, I didn't think that they agreed with the lifestyle.
Right.
I just immediately assumed that, oh, my parents are older, and that's where their thought processes are.
Right.
You know, so I didn't think, I was like super nervous to even say anything. And so the way I came out was more like, boom.
Yeah.
Hey,
she
you know
like,
what I mean? Like, this is the girlfriend.
Right.
I didn't know how to say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know how to come out and say it, because I literally thought,
yeah,
if I was nervous about being who I am and accepting who I am, then they're definitely not going to accept me. You know what I mean? Like, my mind made it way worse than what it was. So the only route that I knew was to be like, oh, boom, hey, you know what I mean? Like,
and it was exactly like that too. Like, my sister, when I think that was the first time you came out, is when you were living with me.
Yeah.
And the girl that she was dating at the time, she just presented her to me, you know what I'm saying? She just invited her to the house, and she what do you call it, introduced her to me as her girlfriend. And I kind of was like, what? But she introduced her to me as her girlfriend, and being her sister, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't gonna make things feel weird, or, you know, or react in a negative way, because like she said, even still, with myself, I've always had friends who were gay. You know, growing up, I've always been around people, lots of people that were gay. So I was not homophobic, and it was not something that was a shock to me. It wasn't shocking to me. So when she came out, I was more accepting to it. You know, I just accepted it. As a matter of fact, I had no emotion towards it. It wasn't, even though it was like, oh wow, okay, but I was just more like, oh, okay, girlfriend. Okay, cool, you know, and I kind of left it at that. But I mentioned that I had a quick story. I mentioned that I had a kind of like a thing. When we were younger, my sister and I used to share a room, and we had the biggest room in the house because it was us two that were sharing a room together. And the room was so big that we were able to kind of like be like, you're on one side and I'm on one side, and you know, we had our own things. And she and I have a pretty large age gap between each other. We have like 9 years between each other. And so think about the times, you know, as far as, you know, the generational gap. At that time, she was interested in certain things, and I was interested in totally separate things. So our room was so different from side to side. And at that time, I had posters on my wall, and on my wall, I had pictures of like Corey Haim and, you know, Tyson Beckford and all those type of people. And on my sister's wall, she had pictures of Trina. She had Lil Kim, and I'm talking iconic pictures. And I'm talking about some of the most sexual, like, poses. Like, if you can think of some of the most sexiest poses that Trina and Lil Kim had,
that Lil Kim.
She had those posters on the wall. So she only male poster I know that she had was Tupac. Yeah. She was in love. She was infatuated with Tupac. But he was like the only poster on the wall that was like a male figure on her side. So I kind of was like, I kind of thought that at that moment, way back then, it went through my mind, like my sister, you know.
That's so funny that you say that, because back then I didn't necessarily consciously know that I was a lesbian. However, you see, that's what I was gravitating towards.
Right.
And then mom asked me back then,
right,
doing my hair one day, and she was like, what she said, it was something funny. Like she just like brought it up. She was like, girl, you a lesbian? And I was like, what if I am? Like,
right.
But in my mind, I really wasn't. Like, I didn't know. And I was like, what if I was? And she was like, girl, don't be playing with me like that. You either are or you ain't. And I laughed. I laughed it off, and then like we moved on.
Right.
But I thought it was so funny. That now that you brought that up,
right.
I think that is so funny because subconsciously I was being who I was,
right,
but
right.
in my mind I was so far, like, I think that I really was like trying to, especially growing up in church,
right.
I really was like, oh my gosh, I can't. This is supposed to be a sin, and
right,
you know what I mean. Like,
right,
so
right.
I was trying to literally block that. You know what I mean? Like, I was doing everything like, no, this is
right.
not. So, you know, I'm looking for men who I thought were attractive and all that. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to me how, like, the way that you are brought up,
yeah.
and your the morals that are put into you, if you don't have that openness, if you don't grow up around that openness, then you kind of try to block it out, yeah. Because you're like, no, you know, like I don't want to be a sinner, or I don't want to be shunned by my family. You hear so many
stories. I
heard so many like brutal,
yeah.
bad stories about people coming out. You know
exactly.
what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I've had friends who cannot go home anymore. Like,
That's
their
sad.
parents
yeah.
have completely shut them out.
Oh,
you know, because they're like, they're so like, you know, deep into their religion, or deep into their thought processes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're like, they immediately were like, you gotta go. Like, you don't accept
get out
this
of
in my house.
Right, exactly.
I'm not gonna accept that in my heart. You know what I mean? And you just have to go.
And I think that was the most warm, like, thing about our family. You know, so our parents, because our father is in his 70s, mm-hmm. and our mother is in her 60s.
Right.
And in their time, in their era back then, you would think that they would be closed-minded towards that. And our parents, when she came out, were so open and so loving and so accepting to her, mm-hmm. and her partner at the time. And that was just awesome. That was awesome because, you know, it allowed her to be free, you know what I'm saying, and not have to go through a lot of the trauma that we know people go through when they come out. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's just horrible when you hear those stories of people who cannot truly be who they want to be. And that's in
or
any...
get shunned by their families. Like, there's so many... You know, I've been learning a lot about different groups within the LGBT community. Okay. The community is so strong because there's so many people who get shunned and kicked out of their families' lives, or you know, their religious background, that community. They get kicked out of that, so they have to form their own relationships and their own families. And so the LGBT community is so, that's why we fight so hard, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times in the LGBT community, that's all they have is them, you know what I mean? Because, you know, people are just not open-minded, or whatever the case may be, you know, and it stems from a lot of different things, you know. So it's crazy, but you know, I'm fortunate enough to have a great family who is very accepting, and that's awesome for me.
And that's across the whole family. Like, I mean, our extended family, cousins, aunties, uncles, you know what I'm saying, there's so much support across the family, and that's what makes it so much better, because, you know, there's not the white elephant in the room, right, or the pink elephant in the room, you know, per se. Right. You know, everybody loves everybody, everybody's accepting of everybody, and, you know, it's also helpful for people in our family who may still be holding on to that, you know what I'm saying, they're not comfortable coming out just yet, but with our family as a whole being so loving and so accepting, it makes it easier for that person to just come out and know that they're going to be accepted for who they are.
Yeah. And I think it's awesome, because now that like I kind of just threw it out there to the family, like we've had cousins and stuff that have came out and like, oh, hey, I'm this way too, you know,
right.
that were really living in fear because they didn't know how, you know, how anyone was going to respond, and they've heard the horror stories as well, you know, like we're as humans, we're gonna gravitate more to the negative stories, so we're not going to, you know, like we don't hold on to like the good stories, we hold on more to the negative stories, so they were fearful to come out as well.
Wow.
So seeing that, I was like accepted with open arms, and they see that, you know, the wife can come around, and the wife is just one of the family members. They're like, hey, I'm this way too, and I'm out and happy, and, you know, it's just a burden that lifts. I don't know, it's amazing.
That's crazy. That's awesome. So, you know, we've discussed a few things, and we hope that we've helped a few people out there who are struggling with coming out the closet. But I have one more question for you that I think is important for them to know. We mentioned earlier that she was married, and I know that, as your sister, I know that you and your wife got married around the time that they approved gay marriage in California. So could you discuss a little bit about that process and, you know, what you guys have went through?
Yeah, you know, I think that them passing the marriage equality law was probably one of the best things for the LGBT community as a whole, because there was a big
sorry guys, it's me.
Oh, sorry. There was a big worry within that, because, you know, like you're choosing to follow your heart and to be with somebody who you absolutely love, but because they're of the same sex, you didn't have certain like the same stability that you would have in a heterosexual relationship, like such as like health care, you know what I mean? Like before, you could be in a same-sex relationship, but you couldn't be on the same insurance, you know, like you would have to get insurance separately, or if your partner was to pass away, you had no rights or anything like that. So because they passed that, my wife and I were able to we were able to get married. That was the one thing, you know, that was the best thing. We were able to get married and show our commitment and love for one another. But also, you know, she works in healthcare. You know, she holds the better insurance. I can be on her insurance. We can speak for each other medically now. There's certain protections that we have, like when, you know, we travel a lot. So, you know, if something was to happen and we didn't have these protections, or we weren't recognized, then, you know, then our families they would have to try to contact family members and stuff like that, versus her, you know, and acknowledging her. It also opened up the ability to adopt. You know, before then, it was like, oh, this is a two-mom home. We don't accept that. Like the other one mom would never be able to have say so for the kid, or responsibility for the kid, or you know, like that. So now, if we were to adopt, or if we were to go through in vitro or whatever the case may be, she could sign the birth certificate as well, and we both be legal parents.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So it opened up so many different things, so many different avenues. It's just absolutely amazing. The one thing that we kind of rushed it, because when we were planning it, so she proposed when everything went passed, right? When marriage equality passed. But then Trump got into office, and we didn't know if laws were going to change.
Right.
And so we kind of like rushed to get married, because we were like, let's get this protection, because if they overturn it, we already are married. We got married underneath, marriage equality
law.
Right. Exactly. And so we would have been okay. So it was kind of that it's just a crazy thing to think of, you know what I mean? Like something that heterosexuals don't have to think about, like we were like, oh shoot, we gotta get these, we gotta get these protections so we can have kids and we can be, live as just a normal married couple, you know? So yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah, guys, and they had the most beautiful wedding ever. I mean, so beautiful. So many family members and friends showed up. It was awesome, guys. Well, guys, we hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for sitting with us for these last 30 minutes that we've been vlogging for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I hope that we were able to clear up some misconceptions and answer some questions and have some clarity on gay lifestyle. Is that proper term? Gay lifestyle. So yeah, guys, so thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I would love to hear your guys' stories. Comment down in the comment section or questions, and tell us what it was like for you to come out. And if you haven't come out, list your questions down in the comment section, and my sister she'll be the one to answer them.
Definitely.
So guys, yes, thank you guys for watching.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Bye.